Guten Tag, Knapper German, and welcome to this week's lessons. This is the week of the 18th of January, and our lessons this week are all going to be talking about mobile phones. I have put all 4 lessons worth together in this one video, but these lessons are supposed to take you the full week, so you can just break them up into the different segments as you need them. So let's get started. Task 1 is a vocab task to build our vocab phrases for this topic. So we want the title in our vocab section, mit einem Handy kann man, ... With a mobile phone you can, and then underneath you've got 11 statements in German of things that you can do with your mobile phone. So I want you to note them all down in German, and I'll go through what they all mean in English so you can add in the English as we go. Okay, so Nummer 1, Fotos machen means to take photos. Nummer 2, Internet surfen, surf the net. Nummer 3, Musik herunterladen, download music. 4, SMS schicken, to send texts. 5, Spiele spielen, to play games. 6, im Kontakt mit meinen Eltern oder meinen Freunden bleiben. So to stay in contact with my parents, my friends. 7. Videos auf YouTube schauen, to watch videos on YouTube. Nummer 8. Konzertkarten kaufen, to buy concert tickets. Nummer 9. Webseiten lesen, to read web pages. Nummer 10. Fotos teilen, to share photos. Nummer 11. E-Mail schicken, to send emails. Okay, in this activity all I need you to do is to match the German to the English. These are all time phrases and you should have seen these at some point before in class, so it's just hopefully a revision activity. I'll read you through the German. Nummer 1, meistens. Nummer 2, manchmal. Nummer 3, oft. 4, nie. 5, ab und zu. 6, jeden Tag. 7, immer. 8, selten. So match each of these with one of the choices from the right hand. So now we want to put our knowledge together in full sentences to be able to answer the question, wozu benutzt du das Handy? So that should be your title for this piece of work in your exercise jotter. Wozu benutzt du das Handy? Which means, what do you use your mobile phone for? Okay. You'll notice that in blue we've incorporated all of the time phrases. So what I want you to do is to note down the sentences in German and also write what they mean in English. Okay, so most of the vocab are things that we've seen on previous slides. So it should be fairly straightforward. If you do get stuck with any parts of the phrases, then you can use an online dictionary such as wordreference.com. Okay, we're now on to lesson 2, so this is your new section. Today's lesson is going to be based around the Learn German with Anya video, which you can access clicking on the YouTube link on this slide. It would be a good idea for you to have this slide and the following slide printed out or noted down in your jotter before you access the video, because both these slides are going to be needed to fill in information as you go. So on this first slide I have given you words in English that are all things that you might find on your phone, and she talks you through what these are called in German and shows you what they look like on a German phone when the language is switched to German. So your task is to note them down in English and in German. On the second slide there's going to be some longer phrases in German which it also talks you through, and for them you're going to add the English. So as I said, it would be a good idea to have both of these ready before you start watching the video, and you can just pause it and rewind it as you need to get all the information filled in. She's really good and really clear. She also has an Instagram account, so it might be worthwhile following her for extra information and it would be good for you to build your vocabulary on topics that you're interested in. So this is the second slide that I mentioned previously. But you can see on this one that there's longer German phrases, that this time I want you to add the English. And your final activity for today is a reading exercise. So you've got a short passage to read where somebody's talking about what they think of their phone and what they use it for, and also mentions something that's maybe negative about their phone. So you've got 6 questions to answer in sentences in English, and it tells you clearly in the brackets how many marks each question is worth. So that lets you know how much information I'm looking for. Okay, good luck. Okay, so we're now on to lesson 3, which has got a little bit of vocab building and revision of vocabulary that we've learned in previous lessons, and then goes on to talk about the positives and negatives of mobile phones. So here we're revisiting some of the vocabulary that we looked at earlier on in the week, and I want you to match the German phrases on the left to the English meanings on the right. I'm hoping that you can do this without referring to any notes, just to see how much you actually know, but obviously if you are stuck on any, you can peek back what you wrote down in previous lessons if you need to. For this task, it would be good for you to make 2 headings, pro and contra, in your vocab section, and I want you to copy down the 8 phrases, decide whether you think they're in favour of mobile phones, so pro, or if they're against, contra, and write them in the appropriate column that you've created, and write them down in German and in English. Okay, so you will need to find out what you think the English means for yourself. Try and do it by using a dictionary rather than an online translator, because it's a useful skill for you to be able to get meanings of individual words and build up the sentence yourself. Okay, and sometimes a translator comes up with some weird and wonderful things that don't make sense as well, so just be careful of that. Okay, so well done for making it to the last lesson of the week, and this is going to focus on reading skills. Okay, so here you have some speech bubbles with people's opinions about their mobile phones. I'll read them through for you. Klaus: Mein Handy ist meine Welt. Ich benutze mein Handy für alles. Heike: Mit meinem Handy kann ich mit meinen Freunden immer simsen oder auf Snapchat chatten. Es ist wunderbar. Claudia: Ich habe gestern ein neues Handy gekauft und ich kann vieles damit machen. Am meisten lade ich Fotos hoch, denn ich mag im Kontakt mit meiner Familie bleiben. Tim: Meine Eltern zahlen für mein Handy. Sie sagen, es kostet zu viel. Ich rufe oft meine Freunde an oder ich lade Musik zu oft herunter. Das ist mein größtes Problem. Kerstin: Mein Handy benutze ich meistens als Fotoapparat. Ich lade meine Fotos sofort hoch. Das finde ich klasse. Nick: Meine Freunde chatten oft online über Skype oder Facebook. Wir simsen auch jeden Tag. So those are the passages, and the activities that you have to complete on them are on the next slide. So you have 3 tasks to do here, and they get increasingly more difficult as you go on. So first section is simply a case of answering the questions in English, and you would write a sentence as your answer. In section B, you've got phrases in English, and we need you to find the German for them. Now, I don't want you just simply putting that into a translator. The German has to come from the passages, okay? So don't just give me anything that you find online that means that, okay? I'm looking for you to use skills of looking for a keyword in the sentence and trying to find where that is within one of the speech bubbles on the previous slide, okay? And then once you've done that, section C should be a little bit easier, okay? So you're looking for somebody talking about downloading music and try and find the German sentence that describes how often they do it, and copy it down in German and then translate it into English. Okay, so you do that for the 5 statements that are there. Okay, hopefully this should be fairly straightforward. Again, if you need help Use an online dictionary such as Word Reference and not Google Translate, please. Okay, good luck. I look forward to seeing your work.